Super Art ready.
Alert. Heavy damage. Standard top laser test activated. Initiate short range control. Activating short-range attack gear. Alert.
いらっしゃいませ。
Hey yo, what's up everybody? I'm back with another video, and today we are drawing 2B from Nier Automata and Eve from Stellar Blade. This video, very special. I was really late to Nier Automata in the games, and the thing that got me interested in playing this game when it first came out back in, I want to say 2017. I might have played it like a year and a half, year or so later. I didn't get it upon initial release because it wasn't really something on my radar like that, but I would see the character around and everybody, saying how great of a game it was. Randomly one day I saw a YouTube video and they were talking about the connection between the Nier games, and I had seen screenshots and gameplay footage of the Nier games on PS3, the ones that precede this one. And, they looked cool and interesting, but I never had a PS3, so I never got to play them. But the video was covering how a game that I did play, at least the first two, Drakengard on PS2, was connected. And I'm kind of like intrigued by the title, because I'm like, wait, Drakengard is like a fantasy game though. Like there was like dragons and magic and stuff like that. How is this connected to a post-apocalyptic world with like androids and cyborgs and stuff like that? Like how is that a thing? And it goes through explaining how Yoko Taro, who created this massive story to span across multiple games, and it was really in depth, and it just kind of got me into the character. And then I also think too 2B ended up getting added as a guest character in Soul Calibur 6. Note about her, she is probably one of the most guest appearance character like in a lot of, she's got 32 I think at the time, or 33 guest appearances in games. She's everywhere. I know in some games I played, a couple mobile games she was in. She was in Nikkei, she was in Punishing Gray Raven. There was another Nier replicant kind of off-spin game that she was in also, which that would make sense because that's in her universe. She was in Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising, which I played her like a lot. I want to say I got her up to like S plus rank. She was in Soul Calibur, and then recently Stellar Blade released last year, which was made by Shift Up Studios, who made Nikkei, which was a game that 2B was also in. Very similar game, and just its sort of themes and kind of design elements. There's a lot of similarities between Eve and 2B, but about halfway through that game's life cycle, they let us know we were getting a collab with Yoko Taro and 2B and Nier Automata. So that's the footage I'm using in the video. Will be mostly Stellar Blade, well, only Stellar Blade, and I'll switch between the outfits where she can dress up as 2B, just to make it simple. I didn't know what game I would want to play. I'm like, I could install Nier Automata on my PlayStation, but I'm like, I got like a save file with like 6 or 7 different endings. The game has 26 endings. I'm not gonna do all that, at least not right now. I haven't touched the game maybe in about 2 years, but yeah, the 2B character, she's very interesting, very beloved. I drew her before actually too, about 2 years ago. maybe a year ago. No, it was 2 years ago. I drew her with Major Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell because I thought that was a pretty cool collab to just do. Not that it was something that was ever done officially by any of those IPs, but I just thought it was a cool little mashup just to do on my own. And I actually used an asset that I drew from that drawing and this drawing here. It'll be added later, you won't see it, but it'll just kind of pop up. But I drew her pod from the game, which pod is her long-range weapons, like, you know, shooting missiles and bullets and stuff like that. Similarly enough, Eve has a similar kind of attack pod that Lily and Adam both kind of communicate with her throughout Stellar Blade, and it has a similar functionality. Uses all type of different gun armaments and stuff like that. Like you got rockets and shotgun shells, you got explosive shells, regular bullets, you know, slugs and stuff like that. So there's a lot of crossover between the two characters, and it also made sense as to why we got the collab through Stellar Blade. But yeah, I had fun drawing it. It was challenging because Eve's outfits are very elaborate. Even with being able to use photo mode in the game to kind of capture reference for the picture I used. 2B's, you know, beloved. She's got statues and figurines and enough reference out there to find. You can just Google her and you just see all the reference. A lot of people cosplay her. Super popular character. They had an anime a few years ago that was pretty good. I mean, I liked it. I know Yoko Taro changed some things and some people weren't really a fan of it, but it's his story. He was involved with it. He can make any changes and retcon or adjust any continuity he wants. It's his IP. He's free to do with it what he wants to. So I know some of the purists out there don't really like that. But yeah, once I started playing the game, I kind of understood, you know, the appeal. She's very like stoic to be, and very like straight to the point and direct. If you look at a lot of her interactions with 9S, who I enjoyed playing as him in the game too, because he had like sort of different style gameplay at times where he do like hacking and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, he's like, yo, you just call me Nines instead of 9S. And she's just like, no, that's not your name. That's not what I'm gonna call you. Like, she's just very like stoic and like to the point, you know. But you know, that's kind of, you know, she kind of develops throughout the game with 9S like later on. Even though multiple times, you know, she's kind of had to kill him for being a little, you know, intrusive or whatever, but they kind of grew to like be close in the end as the game progresses and stuff like that. And then, you know, stuff that happened with A2, who was also on the planet and they found her. You know, she's similar to Eve, very strong with the sword, you know, combat skills, agility, very graceful, you know, very like deadly, you know, and to the point. She's got a lot of stuff underneath that tough exterior. Like I say, she kind of develops into like, I don't want to say softer, but like she does have sort of like a deep love for humanity and like her mission to like sort of do good by Yorha, you know what I'm saying? So when the collab with Stellar Blade came out, there are just so much similarities, even just across the games, right? Like they're both android, they're both female, very strong, very graceful, beautiful characters. They kind of have a main base up in space, either like near the moon or on the moon or around it, something like that. Very similar. Like Eve is part of like the Andro Eidos like thing, and then like they descend to Earth to fight the Nativo, which are just like these like mutated aliens that have like taken over Earth Whereas not in Stellar Blade, it's, you know, they're fighting aliens, but in Nier Automata, it's androids versus robots. But like the robots are, I guess, considered more lower level, lower intelligence. If you've played the game, you've seen what most of the machine robots more so look like, while androids take a more human form. And again, they're trying to, you know, protect the humans and stuff like that, the androids anyway. So there's just a lot of similar things, even like set pieces in the game. There is, on Stellar Blade, like the first main area is Silent Street, right? It's like a ruined city, very post-apocalyptic, dilapidated buildings and things like that. Parts of it is flooded. There's very similar city you land in Nier Automata, which is like the first main area. Once you get past that initial first area of the game, where you kind of just get introduced to like the combat, like that giant oil rig looking thing that you fight. When they land, and it's you and 9S, you know, land in this ruined city with like vegetation has started taking over and stuff like that. Very similar, you know, there's parts that's flooded also. And then they also both have a post-apocalyptic, like, ruined desert, which if you look at the video now, like, I'm fighting Gigas the second time, and I'm dressed as 2B, but it's like, you had similar settings like this in Nier Automata. So it was, to me, again, the collab that they did, it just made sense. And just doing the artwork for it was just like, it was a no-brainer. You know, I've been playing this game, got a lot of hours logged. They're about to drop some new content, and it's gonna release on PC. So that's gonna bring new people in to be able to play it. It's already the most pre-ordered game on Steam. I think it's like the #2 pre-ordered game on Steam. Like, people have been waiting for it, and it's, you know, it's a delayed, you know, release for the PC players, because I think we got it last April, and now we're coming up. It'll be about 15 months when it finally drops in June, the PC version. So, you know, right on time. But I had fun doing the artwork. Like I said, it was challenging and pushing me. Like, the details I'm working on now on Eve's clothes, and I had to pick which outfit I wanted to use, but this one is actually one of my favorite ones, outside of the 2B one, obviously, just because I like that character. But like, I like this one, but I did not realize the level of detail. I almost thought maybe I should just use the default, kind of the green airborne suit that she starts with in the game. But I've always liked that one for some reason. It just kind of always appealed to me, and I was like happy when I unlocked it in the game. But I wanted to draw that one, so that was kind of the one I wanted to reference, and that's where I'm at. The drawing aspect of it, like I say, it was challenging, but it was fun, and I had some good reference to work off of. Coloring wasn't too bad because it's not too many different colors. Only color that really stands out is on Eve's outfit, and there's like sort of like a blue, kind of aqua blue kind of like color on the outfit, but for the most part it's like white and black. And then 2B's outfit is just all black, obviously, as you can see here, with the white hair. And later in the finished video, excuse me, you'll see like Pod just kind of pop up because I pulled it from my old drawing, like I said, and just wanted to use it. I wish I would have like taken the time, but I had already finished everything, and I was like, I want the video out, but I was gonna add Eve's version, which is a little more round, but the version that she uses, that she talks to Adam with and stuff like that. But yeah, but I'm excited. I might do some more Stellar Blade stuff, depending on what the DLC looks like coming up here in a little bit. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to kind of see how the game develops. going forward, will we get any more downloadable content or like kind of like expanded story, or will we get like a sequel maybe? Because there's 3 different endings, and there's a good, a bad, and the true ending and stuff like that. And there's different ways they can go with the game. I don't know what is gonna happen with like 2B and like the Nier Automata series. I don't know if we'll get a remaster of Nier Automata one day, because they did remaster Nier Gestalt, I believe, which was a PS3 one. I think they renamed it Nier Replicant. I didn't finish that one because it was kind of boring. I liked the protagonist, he was cool, but the game itself was just very slow and boring. It wasn't very like engaging like Nier Automata. Nier Automata was really dope because it started out, it's like a shoot 'em up game, like those Japanese arcade like starship fighter games with like the little like Galaga, but like faster pace, right? There's sections of the game that play like that. She's in this like sort of makeshift like flying thing that they can shoot with, that sort of makes her like a fighter jet almost. And then if you watch the intro of the video when it first starts and she's kind of crashing through, that was her breaking through a wall and then coming out of that like sort of hang glider airplane thing that she was in at the beginning of the game. And sometimes it's like sideways, or sometimes it's like top down. The game they had a lot of ways to sort of break up the monotony of just running around, exploring, slicing up robots and stuff like that. Sometimes like the castle you meet A2 in, it turns into like a side scroller, kind of like Metroid, like Castlevania, like sideways. It's not like full 3D like behind her. It's just straight up 2-dimensional. They just did cool stuff like that to like make the game like interesting, and I thought that was cool. Like that was really dope. But I don't know, I couldn't get into Nier Replicant to remake. Like I was a decent amount of ways through the game. I had met Kaine and a couple of the other characters, but I was just like, man, the stories and like certain things are just kind of dragging, and just I don't know, like I may go back and play it because again, like I say, I thought the protagonist was cool. I can't remember his name, but he was dope, and I had unlocked the outfits from Nier Automata to use, so I actually had them dressed up as Lioness when I was playing through it or whatever. And the combat and stuff felt cool. I know there's like multiple endings in that game too, and I think you can actually play Kaine's story. She's kind of rough around the edges. That girl, she be cussing a lot. Like she just don't like people. But yeah, it was cool. Just I felt it was a bit slow coming from Nier Automata, and I was just like thinking it would be a little more similarly paced. Not as much, but yeah, I may go back and play it. I don't know. Like I say, Stellar Blade's dropping some new content in about a month, and I'll probably be playing a lot of that. I think this one is some more content. Their Shift Up is the company, so they're adding some outfits from Nike, Goddess of Victory, and I think some new areas. There's some new boss fights, I believe, too, in there. Similar to what I'm doing right now. This is like the boss rush mode. I kind of want them to add like an endless kind of like dungeon, or like a bloody palace, similar to Devil May Cry, like what I did in my last video, where you just go through waves of enemies. Like this game would definitely benefit from like having that mode. I think I said that in my last video. Like Stellar Blade would like be dope if they had that, or even a boss rush where you just go from one boss to the next without like breaking in between or like picking where you want to go. These are all the health you're gonna get, and how far can you get through the game and fight all the bosses without dying. Like I think even that would have been cool. So I'm hopeful that they'll add some more modes to it, but you never know. We'll just kind of have to see. Also, if you are new to like just Nier Automata, or you want to get interested in it, like you can start with that game. But also they have an anime. If you got Crunchyroll, you can watch the Nier Automata version 1.1a, I think is what it's called. Like I mentioned in the video earlier, a little different from the game story-wise, but again, like I say, Yoko Taro, he helped on it, so he can do what he wants with his IP. But I mean, you could start there. Like maybe if you don't want to play the game, if you're just interested in just the character. The video I watched that talked about Drakengard's connection to the Nier universe was about 6 hours. Like they literally covered everything, and that's why I was just like, this is like dope as hell. So I had to like play the game after that. I'm like, okay, I might need to play this game. I want to say the same year I picked up Persona was the same year I picked up Nier Automata, and they released around the same kind of time frame, and they were both very popular. But like I said, I didn't get them right away. I kind of caught on after the fact, but after playing them, I see why their fan base is what it is and why these characters are so endearing and stuff like that. I would say another interesting thing too about Stellar Blade is like some of its similarities to like the Terminator franchise. Like I feel like the Mother Sphere thing and like Skynet and all that stuff is like kind of similar, at least to me. But yeah, I am excited again for this, potential DLC that's coming out. Well, not potential, but this upcoming DLC that's coming out. I'm also curious what Yoko Taro is going to do with the Nier universe, or is he going to start another series and connect that to Drakengard and Nier? Like, I don't know. It would be cool and interesting to see. I'm also interested to see what game 2B will show up in next. I mean, she was in like PUBG, she was in Rainbow Six. Man, she's in a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff. She out here getting that bag. Like that girl trying to make that money. Either that or she just like to fight everything, which is cool too. I'm not gonna ramble too much longer in this video because it's actually pretty long. I wasn't expecting it to take this long for the drawing and like coloring part, but I was running into some issues with some stuff too at one point. I may be switching. Oh, so my next video, it'll probably be a while before I do that because I'm gonna switch over and I'm going to start learning how to use Clip Studio Paint. Like, I want to use that program. Photoshop's been giving me some issues lately, and I kind of want to get away from it. I keep telling myself I'm gonna buy this program, and it's not like I'm hurting for money that I can't just buy it, but I never take the plunge. So with that, I do have the idea for my next video. It will most likely be City of the Wolves. I recorded some match footage of Hokutomaru, who I've been playing, so I'll probably draw him. But it'll probably be a while for that one to come out because I need to learn Clip Studio Paint and like really fast. I've already looked at some tutorials on YouTube. So it's not too different from Photoshop, but I definitely think it's a lot better, like some of the stuff that you can use and like what you can do with it. So I'm gonna just use that from now on going forward. I think it'll make my workflow a lot better too.
You hear me, Lily?
And there's all kind of unique brushes and things like that that you can do to get different type of like drawing strokes and stuff like that. So it'll take me, probably a couple of days just to get used to it, and then I'll start kind of experimenting with drawing some stuff. I really love this boss. I can't remember the name, but the music too of this area when you get to the top of the orbital elevator, it reminded me a lot of Ghost in the Shell. Like, I really would love for the Stellar Blade team to like do a Ghost in the Shell collab, because it's like the writing just is just there for that. I'm also mad we don't have a Ghost in the Shell game. We haven't had one since PS2. There was one like online game a couple years ago that nobody played. Yeah, that's an IP that's just so much lore and so much info there. Like you could make a game easy, and with this game, it's just like, why not? I would do that. I would love to see a collab with Ghost in the Shell. That'd be dope. Maybe I'll do that next. I'll do not next, but I'll do that in the future. Maybe add Major Kusanagi and 2B and Eve be the Android trifecta girls, you know, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, as far as like drawing, I'm gonna switch over to Clip Studio Paint. Like I say, a lot of artists I've looked at on YouTube, they like it a lot more than Photoshop, and it's actually made for drawing and illustrating. So it's got a lot more user-friendly tools, and it's getting close up there with like what's that program, Procreate, on the iPad. Worst come to worst, like I have a MacBook Pro, but like you can't get the Procreate on this MacBooks. It's only on the iPads, which was a little disappointing because I know when I first got the MacBook, I was like, oh man, I can use Procreate, and then somebody told me like, oh, it's only an app, so it's only on the iPad. I'm like, oh damn, I can't go to the Apple Store and just get it. So it's a little disappointing, but it's hard to try to like take myself off of using, you know, Photoshop, because I've been doing it for so long now with you know, doing digital art and stuff like that. So it's, but I gotta take the plunge, so I know it'll be worth it in the end. So that's what I want to do. I want to switch over to a new kind of new program to draw with, because I think it'll be better for me in the long run. I got some things I want to create, and I believe that's the way to go. I've been taking a lot of risks this year with just creative stuff, so you know, even doing the YouTube thing is a different thing for me. I'm going to be switching up the format a little bit on this too, just the layout, just slightly. I'm going to be coming up with a better looking kind of design for to display the artwork and the game footage on. So I'm experimenting with some stuff right now. So like I say, this video, I'll be taking somewhat of a hiatus after this, just to kind of sort some things out and get myself together creatively to come up with some new stuff. And yeah, that's what I got in the pipeline. I do have some more works and games I want to draw. I still have some more retro stuff I want to do. I need to make it to the arcade so I can capture some footage. I did get the green light from my folks over at Neon Retro that I could like record myself. So I'm waiting for them to put Double Dragon back out on the floor. I do know they have Golden Axe, so a Golden Axe is gonna be one of my future projects. And then probably some more fighting game stuff. Capcom Fight Collection just released, and I've been absolutely terrorizing people online. And Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper with Armika, who I drew about 3 or 4 videos ago. So yeah, more on that. Might be doing some more Armika artwork too. But yeah, that's it for this video. It's a couple more minutes left. It's almost done. It's 37 minutes. I keep trying to get these things like lower, but it never works out that way. It just, I at least I got the perfect amount of time of gameplay footage. Because at first I did do a run when I was just in the city. I was in Eidos 9 with Eve, and then I was gonna switch it halfway through that and do the rest of Eidos 9 as 2D and use that. But I was like, that would be too long. I was like, oh, maybe I'll just do boss rush and just kind of fight the bosses or whatever. And that's what I decided to do. I said I'll do half of them as Eve, and then I'll do half of them as 2D, and just pick some ones I think will look cool. But yeah, after I kill this guy or thing, it's 2D versus Raven, which is not the last fight, but it's the last good fight and the last hard one. The last boss on the 6th game is not that difficult. I think the giant robot thing that gets corrupted that Lily's in, that shit was actually hard. That boss is hard as hell for a robot. I didn't even like try to attempt to fight that thing again because it's like I cannot get the timing down to like get my perfect parries on that, and it's just that thing is a beast, man. But Elder Natiba thing that you fight at the end and Adam, that shit easy. Yeah, Raven's like the true highlight boss. Like she's really fun to fight. She's difficult. She's got really dope attack patterns, and she's just fun to parry too. So, with that being said, I will see y'all in the next video. Like I say, it might be a while. It might be shorter. I might pick up, you know, Clip Studio Paint, and I might be godlike at it in like a couple days. Who knows? But I'm doing my research and I'm watching YouTube videos on it and just kind of seeing how people do their stuff. And that's what I'm going to use to kind of train myself. Like I said, this is kind of a year for me where I'm just taking risks and just doing stuff. You know, whatever happens, happens. Like, I can waste time thinking about it, or I can just do it, because either way, time's going to move forward anyway. So I may as well go with it and just try it and see what happens. If I don't like it, hey, it's $250 down the drain, but I don't think it's going to be down the drain. I'm pretty sure I'll like it, and I'm pretty sure I will pick it up fairly quick. I am a quick study. So I will see y'all in the next video. Appreciate y'all. Leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notification on my next one. Go back, check out some of my other videos too. You know, show me some love for the algorithm and stuff like that. These algorithms is wild. These games and these characters, they're about fighting the algorithm. So y'all gotta help me fight the algorithm and hit the like button and subscribe and do all that YouTube stuff. All right, y'all. Peace. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'll see y'all in a couple weeks. All right, later.
I should congratulate you for realizing the truth and making it this far. Of course, you won't be able to see him.
Shut up! Don't you dare talk about truth after what you did to Taki!
Can't you see? It was Mother Spear who deceived us. You would have remained ignorant if not for him. I served him for a very long time. I know him better than anyone. You don't know anything. You don't know his pain, his anger, his agony. All this talk of you being the chosen one, it ends here.
Lily, I want you to stay back this time. This is my battle.
An unspoken truth you don't dare acknowledge. Do you think you're just going to complete your mission and head back to the colony, a hero? Unfortunately, you've learned too much. You can't be manipulated anymore. And the information you've gained is no use to Mother Sphere or the colony. You will be discarded just like they were during the colony extinction. Like trash!